Just got back from my first trip to Windrock Off-Road Park in Tennessee and wanted to do a short video sharing some of the things that I learned during my first visit to the park. For those of you who are not familiar with Windrock, Windrock is an off-road park, privately owned. There's over 72,000 acres of trails here at this park. It's near Oliver Springs, just west of Knoxville, Tennessee. I first learned about Windrock a few years ago when I was trying to identify some Jeep Badge of Honor trails that I could run in the Midwest or in the Southeast. I had heard about all of the marquee destinations in Colorado and Moab and the Rubicon Trail, of course, but I wasn't aware of any Badge of Honor trails outside of Michigan. Was looking through the Jeep Badge of Honor app and saw that Windrock has 3 Jeep Badge of Honor trails: Trail 16, Trail 26, and Trail 51. Windrock has a campground where you can reserve sites for tents, full RV hookup, cabins, and they also have an outdoor shooting range on the premises, which is pretty cool. We decided to rent a VRBO in nearby Oak Ridge, Tennessee, and that worked out really well for us. Oak Ridge is about a 20-minute drive from the park, but it was nice to have access to restaurants and grocery shopping after running the trails during the day. You need to purchase a permit in order to drive on the trails at Windrock, and you can do this online on their website, but even if you pay for the permit online, you still need to stop by and check in at the general store. Now, when you check in at the general store, you will be asked to show your ID. You'll need to read through a few forms, sign a waiver, and I would also take some time to talk to the staff there, ask them about any general updates on the trail conditions. Make sure that you pick up a map while you're at the store. Windrock also offers their own interactive mapping application. Now, I did not use their app. I used OnX while I was at the park. Windrock is such a huge park. The first time you open the map, it can be a bit overwhelming, but remember that anything with a P stands for a paved road, anything with G stands for a gravel road, and anything named a trail is exactly that, a trail. They also rate their trails green, blue, and black. Trail 51, also known as Panther Rock, was on my bucket list. So as soon as we were finished at the general store, we immediately made our way to the trailhead of Trail 51, which is rated a blue, but I will tell you that the level of difficulty within each classification, at least within the blue classification at Windrock, varies from very mild to really wild. And Trail 51 was absolutely epic. It was beautiful, had a number of obstacles, climbs, and the last section of this trail is not for the faint of heart. The highlight of this trail is Panther Rock, hence its name. Unfortunately, Panther Rock, which is a rock that shoots out over a scenic overlook where you can drive your Jeep, get a glamour shot. It's on an offshoot of the trail that's unmarked, and unfortunately we drove right past it. After we climbed the final obstacle, we realized that, so we had to hike back down and walk out onto the rock. Unfortunately, didn't get a chance to take a photo of the Jeep on the rock. So if you want to avoid making the same mistake that we made, ask someone at the general store if they can mark the exact location of Panther Rock on your map so you don't miss it. And while I felt foolish for driving right past it, I ran into another first-timer on my hike down to the rock who made the same mistake that we did. So it's obviously an easy thing to do. As I mentioned before, there are 3 Jeep Badge of Honor trails at Windrock. Based on all of the research that I've done and the conversations that I had with locals while I was at the park, Trail 16 is certainly the most difficult. Trail 26 would be The second most difficult, and Trail 51 would be the easiest of the three. But easy is a relative term, and I gotta tell you, if it's raining or if it's wet, these trails would be a serious challenge. My Jeep's a Wrangler Rubicon 392, running 35-inch Falcon all-terrains, and I did need to use the rear locker more than once during my time at Windrock. A few other things to know: Windrock also rents side-by-sides. They rent 4-seaters, 3-seaters, and 2-seaters. If you want to rent one of those, though, I would recommend calling well in advance. We spent 3 days at the park, 2 of those in the Jeep. We rented the side-by-side one of the 3 days just so we could have that experience, compare it to the experience in the Jeep. I certainly prefer the experience in the Jeep over the side-by-side. But we only scratched the surface of what there is to do here. I talked to a few folks at the general store who offer guided Jeep tours. That may be a great idea for a first-time visitor or if you're new to off-roading. Things that I will do differently on my next trip to Windrock, and there will be a next trip. I will plan my routes better. I'll use OnX in advance and make sure that I plan my trip so that I can maximize my time at the park. I will add some additional rocker armor. Right now I'm only running a Rusty's Off-Road engine skid plate for the 392, which was clutch on this trip. I used it more than once, but I definitely want to beef up the rocker armor. If you're on these rocks and it's slick, you could easily slide off and do some serious damage to the body of the Jeep. I'm not sure that I'll be up for running Trail 16 on my next trip to Windrock, but I will definitely make a point of running Trail 26 so I can collect that badge. I will definitely run Trail 51 again. It was gorgeous. It was so much fun, and I definitely want to get the 392 out on the rock for the glamour shot. Some other trails that we ran while we were in the park that were fun: we did G20, G37, Trail 19, Trail 4. I've got a lot of that footage. I'll sort through it. Then at some point in time, I'll upload those videos. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, tell all of your Jeep fanatic friends about the channel. Take care.